पुराने जमाने के
टीचिंग के तरीकों से
हमको क्यों पढ़ाते हैं? It's so boring.
अब वेदांतु देगा प्रॉब्लम से छुटकारा।
Hi kids.
समझ
Hello teacher.
आएगा तो मजा आएगा, मजा आएगा तो समझ आएगा।
Best teachers पढ़ाए तो simple लगे everything.
Leaderboards and quizzes से
Amazing.
learning हो जाए happening। समझ आएगा तो मजा आएगा, मजा आएगा तो
Vedantu. Learn live online. To attend a free live class, download the app now.
Hey guys, this is Ambika, Master Teacher of Biology at Vedantu. Now you may be the type of student who manages to study for about 5 to 6 hours in a day after coming back from school and still manage to just scrape through your exams. But at the same time, you may have a friend who claims to be studying only for about 2 hours in a day, but at the same time, every time she manages to become a topper. So this narrows down to the question, how many hours of study in a day is ideal, is required? Well, to be very honest, I think I have already indirectly given you the answer. So before I tell you about that, let me just start by telling you what my teachers taught us in school. Okay, so when our teachers told us that as a thumb rule, you can follow this. If you have 5 subjects to study in total, make sure you study for at least 2 hours and a half every day after going home from school, which means 30 minutes per subject. Well, I think this may work for those of you who are not studying, targeting any specific exam like a board exam or a pre-board exam, because as a routine, as a student, you all need a routine in which you have to do a little bit of self-study after coming home from school, right? But those of you who are specifically aiming at your pre-boards or your board exam, this may not work well. You may need to put in additional number of hours. So how much is ideal? Well, to be honest, this question does not have a correct answer or a wrong answer, but certainly you can use a strategy to calculate the number of hours of self-study or number of hours to study in a day that you can use in order to succeed in any exam. How do you calculate that? So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about a two-step strategy that you can follow in order to calculate the number of hours to study. The very first step is to create a realistic timetable. For any exam, for anything to be planned smart, a timetable is completely an inevitable part, right? So how do you create a realistic timetable? Say for instance, now we are in the month of December and you are aiming at preparing for your exams, which are scheduled to be in the month of March. So how many months do you have in hand? Think about that. Whether you want to complete it before your board exam or before your pre-boards is completely up to you. But how many days do you want to follow a timetable so that you can complete revising all your chapters or studying all your chapters? It could be 60 days, it could be 90 days, but whatever it is, think of the number of months you have in hand first. And then break this down into how much you can complete in a month, and then break it down into how much you can complete in a week. Now, once you have a week's target in hand, it will be very easy to identify what your daily targets can be. And definitely based on your daily targets, what I mean is what topics would you want to cover in a day? That is the data that you have to have. And based on that, you can calculate the number of hours that you have to study in a day. Okay, so the very first step, creation of a realistic timetable. Step number 2 and the last step for this is smart study. Well, I have created a separate video on smart study techniques. In case you have not watched that, do go ahead and have a look at it, because they will certainly help you save a lot of time. What you normally take about 5 hours to study, using those techniques practically, you can even cut short your time by about 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on how you follow them. So using this 2-step strategy, make sure you calculate the number of hours of study you can put in a day so that your daily targets can be achieved. And that's about it from me for today. And until we meet again, this is Ambika signing off. Bye-bye.